Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I had a few different subscribers. I'm going to flip in a couple of the comments here. Ask me what I thought about Marc Lobliner having his children drink whey protein and promoting the idea of children drinking whey protein. Now, I want to point out here also, a lot of people think I sit around watching other fitness YouTube channels. I actually don't. I watch almost no fitness YouTube these days. I get video ideas from my subscribers who say, hey, I want you to go check out what this person said or what they did. Can you comment on it? And that's what I go watch. If no one sends me a link or mentions a video, I don't watch them. But I did watch this one. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, do a little bit of crafting, and let's talk about this. Now, a lot of you guys know Mark and I have had our beefs. And we don't get along. We're not friends anymore. That being said, I'm going to be tough, but I'm going to be fair. The thing I want to state up front with this, we can talk about Mark's shystiness all day long, and I think that's a fair comment. But I don't think Mark would ever knowingly or intentionally do something that would harm his children. Mark is very much a family man, and I would venture to say the reason Mark is so shysty is purely because he wants a better future for his children. That's the reason he gets involved in the dirty supplement industry, does what he does, is purely out of love for his children. I really and truly believe that. So I don't think he would actually harm his children, but I do think he would use his children to make a little extra money if he can do so without harming them. And he very much does that. And, you know, we've noticed that with some of his videos. And I think that promoting the whey protein is one of them. I think he does that because he can cash in and make extra money. Whey protein is his biggest seller. It's his #1 profit. He's got a big audience. A lot of his audience have children. If he can get them to give their children whey protein, he can increase his sales. It's like a 2-for-1 with a customer. Get the whole family on the whey protein. Now, that being said, what are the benefits? What are the concerns here? You know what? I think the idea of giving protein shakes to your children is ridiculous. I think it's borderline ridiculous for adults to think they need them. The idea of giving them to your kids, I can see both sides of the argument, but I think it's a little ridiculous. Now, that being said, and again, it's only going to happen if you've got them laying around your house anyways. You've already been sucked into the supplement game. The thing I will agree with, is it better? Is it better than having them eat McDonald's? You know, because that's the point that comes up. Look how many parents give their children regular Coke full of high fructose corn syrup. They take them to McDonald's sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. That's as big of a problem. I mean, that's a big health risk there. That is a valid argument. It's one he makes. It's one a lot of other people make. Hey, it's better than this. It's better than giving them a big ice cream. You know, at least you're giving them something with some protein in it and less fattening, less sugar, everything else. That's a fair point. But we also come to the point of, is it really an ideal food for them? Probably not. Is it potentially risky? Yeah, possibly, because the things you've got to consider, you're still dealing with a bunch of highly refined garbage. I mean, everyone wants to talk about whole foods, refined foods, yet they will go consume a bunch of whey protein, which is a waste product of the cheese industry. The whey is, they process the hell out of it, put all these artificial sweeteners, colors, everything else in it, and sometimes it's not even that great in a lot of ways, meaning sometimes it has so much lactose in it that it causes farts. A lot of people have gastrointestinal distress from protein shakes. The other big concern, Consumer Reports noted a lot of them, even the name brands, the big brands. If you guys saw that article Consumer Reports did a few years back, they tested like 30 or 40 different whey proteins for everything from quality to contaminants. And what they found is that a lot of the name brand ones had excessive levels, like above what the FDA allows, of things like lead, arsenic, things like that in them. Now, these things are found in trace amounts in most of your food, but they are acceptable amounts because they are poisonous and your body can handle a certain amount of any given toxin. And beyond that threshold, it starts to become dangerous. Anything it does. I mean, most things that'll kill you don't kill you at a low enough dose. They're not even harmful at a low enough dose. A lot of these protein powders and shakes have excessive amounts of these toxic heavy metals in them. And this has been found by Consumer Reports. Children, young children, tend to be more susceptible, and pregnant women, particularly, and breastfeeding women, as far as the effect on the child, tend to be extremely susceptible to heavy metals. This is a real concern. Same thing with your children. If you need to find out if they're lactose intolerant or not. A lot of these can cause them gastrointestinal distress. And it kind of comes back to the other point of, at a certain threshold, are you really giving them something that much better than a milkshake? Maybe, maybe not. You know, that's subjective. At a certain point, a protein shake does just become empty calories that are fast absorbing, potentially make you nauseated, nauseous, everything else. They absorb really, really fast. They're not necessarily a good food. They're still a highly refined food source, oftentimes with all sorts of junk in them that you don't necessarily want added in. Now, does that mean it's probably better than McDonald's? Yeah. Would I rather see a kid drink a protein shake than eat at McDonald's? Yeah. Would I rather see them drink that than drink a big Coca-Cola? Yeah. But the thing is, you're still reinforcing the same negative behavior. You're going to go give them this thing that's been artificially sweetened, oftentimes to the point where it's sickeningly sweet, and you're getting your children at a young age still hooked on the need to consume something sweet all the time, which again starts in childhood. And just because you're swapping this for something else doesn't mean you aren't developing those habits. It doesn't mean they're not going to want to consume more sweets as a result of it. That's the potential problem. There are better food sources. If you're just wanting to get your child some extra protein in their diet, instead of just giving them a snack or a treat, a lot of families, healthy families, fit families, don't have a problem just giving their children whole food, giving them a piece of fruit if they want something sweet for a snack. I mean, I know people who do this, who do nothing but whole foods for their kids. Their kids don't eat any junk food. They don't get sodas. They get sweets and treats on like birthday parties and certain holidays like Halloween and everything. But the rest of the year, they don't really get sweets and stuff year round. They get a piece of fruit. And I have a family who are friends of ours who do exactly that. They keep fruit in the fridge, and the kids want a snack, they'll go get an apple or an orange or a banana. Protein shake, probably not the best choice, Again, there are better foods that have a better nutrient profile that you could get that are going to be less sweet in the sense that they're not going to desensitize your taste buds to sweetness and make them need sweeter and sweeter foods all the time. So it's not really an ideal choice. People are just doing it out of convenience because they already have all these protein shakes around that they don't need. But they need to understand it's still a highly refined food. It still oftentimes has heavy metals and other stuff in it, and there are better choices out there. And the question I would ask is, why can't you just give your children normal food? What's the problem with feeding your children food? Same thing for the people who drink all these protein shakes. Why can't you eat food? Why do you need these protein shakes? Now, if you really think that if you're giving your child a whole food diet, it's got plenty of lean proteins, vegetables, starches, everything else in it, what makes you think your children aren't getting enough protein to grow? Again, you shouldn't need to supplement their diet with a protein shake. Most of you guys who are trying to gain muscle and girls who are trying to gain muscle don't even need protein shakes. You probably already consume more protein than you actually need for maximum muscle growth. You don't need these shakes, and your children damn sure don't need these shakes. Again, you're just treating it like a treat, and I mean, yeah, sure, it's better than McDonald's. But that's also like saying, if I took one of these bullets and I shot you in the foot, it wouldn't be as bad as if I shot you in the stomach or the chest. That's true, right? You still want to get shot in the foot? Still probably not the best choice. You think you would rather not get shot at all. Common sense here, people. Just because something is better than something really bad doesn't make it great, doesn't make it good, doesn't make it ideal. That's what we have to think about here. The same thing, and we should be chastising parents who are feeding their kids McDonald's all the time. I would agree with Marc and a lot of other people on that. Those people are a bigger concern than someone giving their children protein shakes. But if we're going to be fair, we do need to say, what in the hell are you doing? Why do you even need the protein shake, and why do you think your children need it? Just give them an apple. They want something sweet. It's not that hard. You want to give them more protein in their diet? Cook them a chicken breast. Cook them a piece of steak. Give them some whole foods. It's not that hard. And we need to remember, and people say, well, it's just dairy. Yeah, but over half of the population is lactose intolerant. And that starts at a very young age for most people, depending on your ethnicity. It starts as young as age 4 or 5. So, even then, dairy is not great for everyone. It depends upon the individual. So at the end of the day, the idea that this is really a good idea to give your children protein shakes, no, probably not. It's silly, and again, it's only people doing it because they already have these things around. The question I would ask them is, do you think your children really need these? No, there's better choices. And do you think you really need them? Think about it. When you look at what the top experts recommend for top-level strength athletes to gain muscle, the protein requirements, it's very, very easy to hit those protein requirements unless you're a vegan. All right, vegans are probably the only people on earth who actually probably need some sort of protein supplement to gain muscle at a reasonable rate, at a good rate. It doesn't mean they can't gain muscle, it's just not going to gain it as fast without something. But everyone else, people who eat whole food diets, mostly whole food diets, and actually eat some sort of animal products in there, lean animal products in their diet that already consists of mostly whole foods, grains, beans, things like that, the odds that you aren't getting enough protein to gain maximal muscle mass is only going to happen if your calories are too low. If you're eating a nice balanced diet and you're eating enough calories to gain any weight at all, you're probably consuming enough protein. People blow this stuff out of proportion. They consume more of it than they actually need to reach their goals. And it's fine if that's just your personal preference, but if you're throwing away extra money on it on a bunch of shitty fart powders, I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what you're doing with your life and with your money. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.